minute. Okay, right, so I'll make a video about a topic that I haven't quite decided, but I figured I would just do it because I might as well. It's like 1 o'clock, I think, 1:15 in the early hours of the morning, and I cannot sleep, so. Then again, I haven't actually tried to sleep yet. I've just been sat up watching some YouTube videos and nothing too philosophical. Just people getting caught shoplifting and random stuff like that in the strange corners of YouTube. But not the extremely strange corners of YouTube, just a little bit strange. It's like, you don't quite know how you got there, but you did, and don't know. And yeah, I've gone into college tomorrow to do to help my philosophy teacher out with a taster session for the year 10s, so that should be good. And it'll be good for a CV, which I've actually tried to start making today, and I've been procrastinating from doing it for quite a while. Yeah, but I need a job. I'm also gonna go to uni next year, and I'm gonna do philosophy because it's something I enjoy doing, and then in the future I hope to maybe go into teaching it. I feel like it's something I could do. But I think it would probably be silly for me not to do that because I've never really felt like compelled towards a certain subject. I mean, I've always enjoyed sport, and I really like PE at school, but I didn't do that at A level. I enjoy art as well, but I don't really like doing that in a an educational setting. It's like I like to create my own art, and that's how I enjoy that. But with philosophy, I don't know. I like doing it, and I also like teaching it to people and helping people. So like if I get to grips with a topic and then I can talk about it comfortably, I can also help other people get to grips with that topic, and that feels good. I like doing that because it's not just benefiting me; it's also benefiting other people. I think teaching's probably a good way to go if that's what I enjoy doing. Like I was a little bit worried because um well you think of a philosophy degree and it's like well it's just thinking about questions which often don't have any answers, or they do have answers, but like not necessarily concrete answers, and not always practical answers, because a lot of it is abstract thinking about things, and I guess it's only really useful if you enjoy doing that, which I do for the most part. So I I think that's what I want to do at uni. I feel like I've got a vision for the future and I've got a goal, and that's something that I haven't really had for much of my life. And I've found myself in the past and quite recent, the quite recent past as well, just not having a goal, because if you don't aim towards anything, then you don't really fail because well you don't have a target. So it's like yeah you don't have the target, but so there's nothing for you to miss. But then again, you fail in the long run because you end up finding yourself as an adult, as an older person, looking back saying, "Oh, I didn't actually do anything with my life," and I don't really want to get to that point. And I like thinking about things, and I like philosophy because it's not just about doing philosophy. It's about learning how to think as well, learning how to use logic and reason in order to formulate arguments. And I've also been able to apply that to other areas of my life, like doing my sociology A level as well. I found that philosophy has helped me with that. However, it's also not helped me because I've tended to write philosophical essays in a sociological context. So and obviously you need to write a sociology essay like a sociology essay, not like a philosophy essay. So there's a big difference, but um, it's definitely helped me learn how to think about things, and it's also taught me things that I've been able to um use to just learn about life a little bit in a bit more of a deeper way. And I think I've talked about this before on my channel and probably quite recently about how you have you ask questions, but you ask questions assuming a specific answer, or assuming that the answer is going to come in a certain form. But you don't realise that the question that you're asking isn't necessarily relevant until you actually learn more things and think, oh, okay, well, I never actually thought about answering it that way. I thought there was no answers to the question, so you just end up going around in circles. And with the lack of knowledge that you do have, and I still have a lack of knowledge, definitely, and I've still got a lot more things to learn, and I'm sure I will if I go to uni. And so so my plans for the near future include getting a job, but aside from that, I also want to read a lot more books because I've got a lot more time on my hands with finishing A levels. So I'm going to spend the summer basically reading. I've started this one there, and I've got a lot on my bookshelf upstairs, mostly philosophy books. I've got Christopher Hitchens' God Is Not That Great, which I would quite like to start reading. I've got a lot of Nietzsche books as well, but Nietzsche's a little bit difficult to read sometimes. But he's definitely interesting. I've started reading two of his books. I've read one of his books, but it wasn't actually his form of the book. It was called Briefly. The name of the publisher, and well, not the name of the publisher, the name of the publishing company, and it's basically it's like it's like the book, but it's like with an interpretation, so it sort of tells you what the book's about almost. It's like a book about a book. So I read the Briefly version of Beyond Good and Evil. I found that quite interesting. Um, I started reading a while ago actually the Antichrist. But I've only got a little bit through that, and I think it's called The Genealogy of Morals, which is a makeup of around about 3 essays, I believe. One of which is Beyond Good and Evil, and there's a few others as well, but I can't remember. So I need to finish reading that. I started a while ago reading The God Delusion, but never actually had an opportunity to finish it. So that's another book I need to finish reading. Yeah, and I've got a few more upstairs. I read Dostoevsky's Crime and Punishment. That was good. I've got three more of his books. I've got The Idiot. What else have I got? Is it the Karamazov brothers, and another one, which I'm not going to be able to remember right now. The Meek one. I think that was Dostoevsky. I don't know how to say his name. He's Russian, and I like reading Dostoevsky, except all of the characters in his books have like triple or double barrel names, which are extremely hard to pronounce. So it's hard to know exactly who you're reading about until you actually really get into the book. But he's a good author, and I would recommend him. So yeah, and then obviously if I'm gonna be doing uni next year, then I can look at the specification or what sorts of things we're going to be studying. I'm sure most of it will be relevant to what I've already done at A level, so maybe I won't need to go over everything. But before starting the course, I'd sort of like to get a feel for the things that we're studying, and maybe do some of my own research beforehand. Well, I say research, but I mean like my own looking into the content. So I'm not just going into it not really knowing exactly what's gonna be in store. So it should be good. But yeah, I feel like I've got a goal. I feel like I'm doing things that are good for the future, which is nice. I like not having stress, because with A levels, it's like you've got this constant burden on your shoulders of you've got the exams approaching, and that never goes away until you've finished your exams, because there's no way of knowing exactly how you're going to feel on the day of an exam. There's no way of knowing exactly how you're going to do on an exam. And even now, I'm a lot less apprehensive about results day, because even if I don't necessarily get the grades that I'd like to get, I can always do a foundation course at uni, which basically means you do another year. You do an extra year at the start, so you start at year 0, I think it's called, and it allows you to progress onto the degree if you would not otherwise be able to do so with the grades you may have acquired. So that's always an option. I don't want to fail miserably, and I don't think I have. I don't really want to speculate too much, but I'll be happy with C's. But I'll be even happier with B's. But I don't think I'm necessarily gonna get B's. However, I don't know, so there's no point thinking about that because, yeah, you can write good essays and bad essays, and sometimes you might think you've done really well on something, and do extremely poorly. But sometimes you might think you haven't done very well at all, and you've actually done great. So I don't know. I'm just not going to worry about that. It's out of the way. I can't change anything now. So just trying to do things now to benefit the future. And that includes UCAS, which I've pretty much almost finished. I've got 3 universities selected on there, 2 of which have slightly higher grade requirements, and one of which is a lot lower. But I'm sort of like leaning towards the one with the lower grades because I don't know. Well, one of my friends is going there this year, and I would obviously be starting the year after. But it just sounds like quite a nice uni, but I'm not sure. And it's not mega far from home. It's like maybe, I don't know, a couple of hours in a car, probably less than a couple of hours in a car, and about less than an hour on a train. So but if I did go there, if I did go to the one I'm thinking of, I'd probably end up still getting accommodation because I'd like to be a little bit more responsible. But I'd also like to have a car. So in the next year, I need to get a job, and I need to get one as soon as I can so I can start saving. And then I'm going to be able to obviously buy a car at some point, and it doesn't have to be like a mega nice one like a BMW or a Mercedes, just like a cheap Astra or something like that, and something that can get me to like point A and point B, and that will be good. And I also I obviously need to pass my driving test. Theory test, forgot about that. I've got that planned. I've got that booked for maybe like 3 weeks from now. So I need to start revising that. That's got to be. I've got to pass that this time around because otherwise, my nana won't pay for it again. It's like £23 a go, and I need to get my theory test so I can do my driving test. I feel like I'll pass my driving test first time around. I hope. I feel like I'll pass my driving test first time around because I'm not like an amazing driver, but I've been having lessons for probably about 8 months, and I feel like I can drive. I can drive all right. Like there's some things that I still need perfecting, but parallel parking that needs to be fixed because I haven't done enough practice at that, and it's quite difficult as well. But yeah, I think things are going to be okay. So I need to finish my CV. That's an important thing. I need to. One thing I'm worried about with my CV is it asks for educational things, and I've only really got 4 GCSEs, C and above, because I've sort of messed up my GCSEs at school because I didn't try. I didn't think I was going to do anything in the future, but obviously my perspective's changed. So it has posed a slight problem with up until this point, in that I wasn't able to do psychology at A level, and I had to do sociology instead. But I'm glad I did sociology. It's been a bit of a up and down topic to do, and that I've enjoyed some parts and I've not enjoyed others, and my perspective on it has fluctuated a lot, I'd say. But I'm glad I did it because I think I'm probably more likely to get a higher grade in sociology. I also got told on enrolment that because my GCSEs were so bad, and I could feel her judging me. She was like, the pass rate for people who do philosophy and sociology together is quite low. And I was like, I don't care, I want to do it. And she's like, you sure you don't want to pick something else, like maybe another art topic? And I was like, no, I don't want to pick another art topic. I know I'm capable of doing it, so I'm going to do it. And I did it. And I think I've done it. I think I've done it right. But yeah, I just sort of want to prove to myself that I can do things right, and that I can do a good job if I put in hard work. And yeah, because I know hard work does pay off, and I know I haven't always been completely focused, but I don't think that's really possible for anyone. I mean, maybe I'm speaking for myself, but yeah, like if you're having a bad day, sometimes it is really hard to get motivated to do something productive, but you just got to sort of do it anyway, and you can do it to a certain extent, but obviously if you're not in the mood, then it's like you're disinterested and you can't really force interest. And I often find that when I'm learning a new topic, like I'll start the topic and I'll enjoy it, and it's like, and then you go through a stage where you've got to like really knuckle down just to get down with the details and learn about the different perspectives in an academic way, in a way that you're going to be able to actually apply it and get a good grade, and that bit's difficult, but when you learn it, you know it, and that's that, and it feels good after. So you sort of have to go through that stage of feeling a little bit, oh, I can't be bothered, in order to get to the stage where it's like, yeah, I can do this now. And it's just, I guess, important not to give up. That's what I'd say anyway. So, yeah, so CV, theory test, apply for jobs, read more books, and I think that's about it. And also, obviously, I'm helping out with college and stuff with philosophy, so that's gonna be more experience for the future and more helping people. So, yeah, life was good. Right, that's it. Thank you for watching.